This video is brought to you by
Cool Grain Clothing. We done gone worldwide and we coming straight out of Baltimore. Come on down, shop with us at 215 West Saratoga Street. And if you can't come and shop with us in person, go online right now at coolgrainclothing.com and make your purchase. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way, and that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube, fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. Before I get into the story, I want to give a special shout out to Ms. Lauren DeBrungeon for supporting the channel. Your support is definitely appreciated. Forgive me if I said your name wrong. I was trying to sound it out, but either way, you already know it's all love. Let's get right into the story. When we wake up and leave the house every day, the main goal is to make it home safely. Most of us try to handle our business, stay out the way, and avoid confrontation. While some people feel that way, you definitely have a flip side to that. People that wake up angry, leave the house either looking for trouble or bringing a bad energy with them. By now, we all know that's just the world we live in. You can't control other people and how they feel or what they do. Only yourself. In a lot of inner cities, people hop on public transportation to get them from point A to point B. As a fellow Baltimorean, we all know the MTA can get crowded, loud, and you might see some things from time to time. But for people without vehicles, it's better than walking. But we are in a weird climate in the world where emotions are high, people are zapping out for petty reasons, and it seems like crashing out and sitting in a cell is the cool thing to do for some people. So for us trying to play it cool, stay to ourselves, and take care of our kids, just walking outside comes with danger because you never know what type of time the next person is on. But despite all that, you gotta live. But how do you deal with individuals that are looking for a reason to do something to somebody or to show you they are like that? You can stay out the way, but unfortunately, trouble can sometimes find you in places you wouldn't even think of. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be discussing a recent case of a confrontation on a city bus that came to a fatal end. In November of this year, 30-year-old William Womack was navigating life in Baltimore. Described as a family man who really stayed to himself and took care of his 2 daughters. William, being the only boy and oldest of 4, had 3 sisters, so he was protective by nature. The young father was also very close to his mother. So on December 1st of this year, he made sure he let her know, like, "Ma, I'm heading out to buy your granddaughter some shoes," in reference to one of his daughters. She stated, "All right, see you in a few." He left out and hopped on the MTA to go shopping. As he got on the bus, there was another man already boarded with a ski mask and glasses on. Trying to get a seat on the crowded bus, William made a mistake and bumped into the man. He said, "Excuse me," and proceeded to walk to the back, not thinking nothing about it. But the man followed him, asking, like, "You ain't see me standing right there?" William told him, "I said, excuse me." But the man wasn't trying to hear it, as he continued to get loud. As the 2 men went back and forth for a minute, William was about to exit the bus for it stopped on South Utah Street, downtown, before multiple shots went off. As people screamed, the shooter ran off the bus, but William was already hit. BPD was called to the location, and William was rushed to a local hospital, but unfortunately, he wouldn't survive his injuries. Back on the scene, police talked to witnesses and the bus driver and found out the men were arguing over a shoulder bump. Police was even shocked that someone was bold enough to let off shots on a crowded bus at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The MTA provided footage of the incident and a picture of the suspect, but his face was covered. As William's family received the news, they were devastated. His mother let it be known Her son wasn't perfect, but he was a family man, only interested in taking care of his daughters. Now he was gone, right before the holidays, over something she felt was senseless. The still image was released to the news, with police asking for any information. People in the community who ride the bus every day couldn't understand it, as one man spoke out about people in the community needing to control their emotions. But as Williams' family was left to grieve, days would go by with no one being taken into custody, until police started receiving tips on a man in a picture. People stated it was 61-year-old James Richburg. James had a few run-ins with police, including all the way back in 1996, where he was sentenced to 25 years in prison for armed robbery. Being a convicted felon at that point, by law, he couldn't own a gun. During his time, he wrote the judge, stating he had an addiction and needed help, so he asked to be sent to a treatment facility. As he stated, he was ashamed for his actions. Fast forward to 2019, James was back in the streets and got jammed up again with another gun, getting him a 5-year sentence for being a felon in possession of a firearm. But now, at 61 years old, James had a new warrant out for murder. Just a few days later, in a crazy twist, James was riding the MTA bus again when it was stopped not too far from where William was shot at in the 1600 block of North Fulton Avenue. And on December 9th of this year, he was arrested and taken into custody, charged with first and second degree hit, along with other charges, and held without bail. As William's mother got the news, she felt a little relief, but felt it still wouldn't bring her only son back. She stated James' family could still see him, but she will never see her son again. And she would have said a lot more if she would have knew that was the last time he would walk through the door. The whole incident was caught on the MTA cameras, but as of now, the case is new and hasn't made its way to trial yet, and James is innocent until proven otherwise. Rest in peace to William. I send my prayers and condolences to his family, his 2 little girls who now got to go without a father, his sisters who now got to go without their big brother, and his mother without her only son. I pray they get the strength to heal from this situation. James, at 61 years old, is considered an old head who has been down before. He's supposed to know you can't have a complex like that. At that age, it definitely should be easier to let things go. If the man bumped into your shoulder, I get it. But once he said, "Excuse me," the situation was over. For me riding the 35 back in the day on Monument Street to the 55 out Towson, I definitely know sometimes the bus is overpacked. You got to stand up, shoulder to shoulder, and it definitely can become frustrating, but it's a way to get around. It's wild. At 61 years old, Unc was still allegedly willing to crash out over a shoulder bump. Yeah, man, crazy story. Rest in peace to William. I definitely send my prayers to his family. But y'all leave it in the comments. I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. This is another episode of the Baltimore Way. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.